Finely Strung Hannah by Robert Chantler. This week, Who's the Daddy?
Tony's going through a funny phase, that's for sure. He's still as lazy as ever, but he seems unfulfilled.
Maybe Joe's cafe's shut for a while.
He's broody. I know the signs.
Ask him.
No.
I will then.
Morning.
We'll be subtle.
Morning, Tiny. Karen says you're broody. Is that true?
Oh, nicely done.
Broody?
Well, you don't have any kids, do you?
No, they're too much effort and too much money.
But haven't you ever wanted one?
Well, sometimes I think it might be nice, but having heard you and Karen go on about the problems yours cause you, I think perhaps I've made the right decision. The wife doesn't care either way, I don't think. She can't be asked.
Oh my God, a female Tony. Imagine.
Anyway, it's probably just the midlife crisis kicking in. I'll be all right. I'm too lazy to get psychological problems. And if I did get them, I'd be too lazy to sort them out. Too much effort even to contemplate.
Hi, is this where Tim Spencer lives?
Yes, I'm his wife. Who are you?
I'm Lisa.
We don't buy anything at the door.
Oh, no, I'm not selling anything.
Jehovah's Witness?
No, I've come to see Tim.
Tim?
I think Tim might be my dad.
What?
Is he here?
Darling, what? Oh, hello.
Hello. I'm really sorry to just turn up unannounced. I know it's freaked your wife out, but I had to make contact and I only had your address.
Right, so what, you a grad student or something?
She's the fruit of your loins, apparently.
What?
I'm your daughter, Tim. You're the dad my mum never told me about.
But that's impossible. I never had sex with anyone until I met Hannah, and you must be, what, Josh's age?
Josh?
Our son, mine and Hannah's.
You met her while you were at uni in Birmingham.
I know, Hannah and me were there. But you wouldn't have even been born then.
My mum, I mean. You knew my mum, Alison Shell?
Alison Shell?
She was a lousy mum. Always drunk, dressing like a tart, sleeping around.
Oh, yeah, I remember her. She was always drunk and putting it about at uni too.
Well, she must have had loads of one-night stands. Why me?
We had this massive row because I said I wanted to know who my dad was, and she said Tim Spencer. And then she threw me out and told me that if all that mattered was finding my dad, I could go away and find him. Well, if I haven't found you, I've got nowhere to go.
How do we know you're who you say you are? You just turn up here out the blue. You could have looked us up in the phone book.
No, I know, I understand. I don't want to impose. I've booked a room in a B&B up the road.
Well, I suppose as you're here, you might as well stay and talk.
Okay.
What? Oh, why don't you just invite any passing stranger in for a cuppa?
Well, if she is Alison's daughter, we can at least find out what she's been up to.
Assuming she's been upright at any time since she dropped out.
She was always dropping out, as I recall. Whether her top was too low cut or her bra was inadequate, who knows?
Can I sit?
Please.
Oh, dear God, Simon, when you sit down at your age, you must be Tim's.
Hannah, make the tea.
I don't believe this.
Oh, she's made a mistake. Are you going to take the word of a total stranger against mine?
I don't know, darling, but she's put the idea in my head now.
Anyway, you were always getting your jollies standing up in the gent, so it's a bit rich having a go at me.
So it's true?
No,
At least I was honest about jollies. You said I was your first.
you were.
Do you even know her?
No, she just turned up at the door. I remember Alison, but that's all.
I meant Alison. I faintly remember some trollop, whether it was Alison or not, I don't know. She didn't do drama or English lit. I was streaks ahead of my contemporaries when it came to fun and flirtation.
She was a biologist. Appropriate. And she did drop out. She had a dropout party. She was quite proud of the fact, I seem to remember. We both went to that party together. You remember I wanted to go because it would celebrate her going. She was an awful woman, and you came along because you said you didn't trust me to be near her. Oh, come on, you must remember.
What'd that do in the community centre?
I'm sure.
So she could be your daughter. And we were already dating then. I can't take my eye off you for a minute.
No, she must have got the name wrong. Look, let me talk to her tomorrow. She might just be after money.
Well, I can't think of any other reason she'd admit to being your daughter.
Oh, thanks a bunch.
I mean, when I think about it, you do have a lot of things in common, apart from sighing when you sit down. You both hold your tea mug by clutching the mug rather than the handle. You and her were lifting and lowering your mugs at the same time, and you were both sipping the first mouthful with a slight slurp sound.
That doesn't prove anything. She could be copying me.
You're both allergic to bananas.
How did that even come up in conversation?
I offered her a banana. You gave her mum a banana.
Look, she probably slept with loads of men at that party. Maybe she just remembered my name.
Why yours? Tim Spencer is hardly memorable.
Well, it could be if everyone else had duller names.
What would we do if she turns out to be your daughter?
Well, I guess we'll just have to take her in as part of the family. I wonder what Josh will think when he finds he has a sister he didn't know about. And she'll be expensive. What if she needs to stay until she finds a job down here? What if she wants to go to university?
Oh my God.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If we come to it.
Whoa, I just can't.
Tim obviously could.
It must be a mistake. Tim would remember if he'd done something like that. He's too boring to have done something like that.
Well, another child. That won't be cheap.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not supporting her.
So she was the university easy lay, was she? Made you look like Mother Teresa, did she?
I might have had one night stands, but I haven't left any stray offspring behind.
As far as you know.
Karen.
Well, sex is very overrated. Too much effort. Mind you, on the odd occasion, I just lie there and she does the work.
Typical.
Who was this woman?
Alison someone or other. Tim and I might have gone to some party she had when she dropped out. I only faintly remember something.
Well, maybe she's confused. Maybe she just put the wrong name to the face.
That's what Tim said. I hope so.
We've all had one-night stands, Hannah. I went up for this sales conference when I was a new manager. 20-odd years ago now, I had a one-night stand. Some barmaid.
Well, I don't like the idea that my Tim slept around or that he lied about it. I was always suspicious when he told me I was his first because of how good he was when we finally did it.
Well, there's an easy answer to find out if Tim's the dad. DNA test.
Oh yeah, I'll just drop it in the conversation.
Well, I suggest you think about it, because if she's a con artist, leave it too long and it might be too late.
Before we go to bed, there's one thing I just have to say, especially as there seems to be a chance you might be responsible for Lisa.
What?
DNA test.
Well, that's no good, is it? Unless she has one too. How will that sound? Lisa, can you have a DNA test?
There's no problem with asking her to take a DNA test. What's the problem? If you're innocent, it'll prove it.
Yeah, well, that's a last resort.
Blood test?
Well, it might prove I'm not the father, but it rather depends on the blood group. So I'm A and you're O, so if she's B or AB, I'm off the hook. But if she's O or A, it won't tell us anything useful.
So do a DNA test.
Oh, well, all right. I'll try and suggest it, but I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Oh, for God's sake, you don't even know if she is your daughter. And until you do, she's a stranger. Think like that and asking her will be easier. If you don't, I will. Tim?
Lisa, I have to ask you something. It's a bit delicate, but,
Oh, come on, Tim, get it out.
Sounds like he did. With Alice and Shell.
Hannah. Look, what I'm trying to say is...
Tim doesn't believe you're his daughter and he wants you to have a DNA test.
Hannah, how is that sensitive?
You think I just turned up on your doorstep to scrounge off you, did you? Oh, well, if you don't want me, fine. Mum doesn't want me and now my dad doesn't want me.
My wife is very bad at being tactful, and it was her idea.
Well, I suppose then it would prove it either way.
It's not because I think you're a scrounger. I'd be honoured to have you as a daughter.
Thank you.
But I need to know, for sure. I mean, to discover I might have a daughter, well, that's a really big thing to take on board. Surely you can understand that.
OK, I'll have the test.
You're not a blood donor, are you?
No, why?
I just wondered. I am, you see.
Good for you. I can't give blood. I don't like needles.
Well, I'll put things in motion for the DNA test then, OK?
Yeah.
Tim and Lisa,
That's us.
come in.
Thank you.
Well, firstly, let me just reassure you that this is a very simple process and you will have your results very quickly, all right? Now, we can provide counselling if you need it. Just let me know.
OK, I don't have to, look into a pot, do I?
It's not a sperm donation, Dr. Spencer. We take a swab from your cheek and analyse it.
Oh, right.
When will we know the results?
Well, we have our own lab here, so if you're happy to wait, within an hour or so.
You're here so often nowadays. Doesn't Sir Charles mind?
No, as long as things get done. Between you and me, things are quiet just now.
You seem even edgier than usual. Is this because of the DNA test?
Yeah,
When will you know?
I don't know, but I really need to know either way.
And you and Tim both remember this Alison woman?
Yeah, I looked her up on Facebook. Of course, it took a while because there are loads of Alice and Shells, but I found her. She looks as much of a slapper as she did when we were at uni. Oh, hello, darling.
Oh, hi. We wanted to be with you when we opened the envelope.
Oh, God, just open it.
Right.
Don't just sigh, tell us.
There's only a 29% match between me and Lisa.
So you're not my dad?
Sorry. I'm actually quite disappointed now I've got to know you.
So I still don't know who my dad is.
Oh, Tim, I'm sorry I doubted you.
It's okay, darling.
Well, Lisa, you can think of yourself as family, but just don't expect us to give you anything.
Hannah! Look, Lisa, I have a feeling we can find your dad.
How?
Well, we know your mum is Alison Shell, which, as she didn't know your father, is presumably her maiden name.
And we know what she looked like.
Well, good luck. These one-night stands can be murder. I had a few, believe me. The older and wiser Tony wouldn't do it again.
Who was your worst one-night stand, Tony?
Well, I didn't have hundreds of them. Not like you.
Cheek.
I went up to this sales conference when I was just starting out in management. Birmingham. We went into this bar, the lads and me, and there was this barmaid there. Really easy. So anyway, we got talking and drinking, and then she dragged me round the back of the bar and started literally pulling my clothes off. I tried to get away. She was on me before I knew what was happening.
Why was it bad, though?
Oh, she was dreadful. Common, loud, and she kept going on about how she liked her sex and how so-and-so did this and this other bloke did that.
During sex?
No, before. Not usually a turn on, but I was drunk, wasn't I? And my colleagues had cleared off.
And you had sex?
I think so.
Did you get a name?
No.
Oh, lovely. I might have had my jollies a few times. But at least I could name them.
Well, to be honest, I was so drunk I wouldn't have remembered if she had told me. It would have gone in one ear and out of the other.
Well, I guess that would happen when there was nothing in between, eh, Tony?
Funny. 20 years is a long time, but I'd probably recognise her face. I'm good with faces.
Well, I wonder if she'd remember you. Depends how many one-night stands she's had, I guess.
Well, I suppose I'd better get out of your lives as quickly as I entered them. I wasn't ever on the scrounge or trying to trick you.
I know.
Look, I feel badly about what I said about you. Can we at least help you find out who your dad is? If we can.
Oh, that'd be so nice of you.
Oh, there we go then. And you can be our honorary daughter, how's that? And if Josh wasn't in Birmingham, we'd have introduced you. I just can't think we might have made a promise we can't keep. How can we possibly help her find her father? He could be anyone.
Well, you know, I think I might have a hunch. If we found some way to seemingly casually show her picture to Tony without him realising why, he might recognise her.
Oh, you reckon she's the Brummy barmaid he had a one-night stand with?
Well, think about it. He was in Birmingham. It was about 20 years ago. We were up there at uni. Students often worked in bars to top up their income. It's possible.
It's possible, but highly unlikely. Anyway, how will you just casually get Tony to see it?
Tony's curious. He wishes he wasn't because finding out what he wants is too much effort for him. But he'll not let that stop him. So, Karen and I will be chatting and giggling quietly and pointing at my computer screen, which is facing away from the office. Then we'll go and have a coffee, leaving the screen on her Facebook profile. Then we wait for the reaction. Tony said he'd notice her if he saw her, so let's see if he does.
Well, if your hunch is correct, you are one hell of a woman.
I am anyway. And if you wait till Friday, I'll prove it to you. Come on, Karen, where's the harm? I know he's a long shot.
How do you know you haven't had sex with him?
Oh, yes, very good. So are you in?
A question you don't have to ask very often. I'm in. When do we start girlish giggling and gossiping?
As soon as I get her Facebook profile on the screen, it'll be on my browsing history. There. Look, there she is.
Oh my God, she looks like a teenager.
She's changed her picture. That's an old picture. People do that sometimes on Facebook.
Well, that's even better, isn't it? If that was taken around the time she went to uni, he's sure to recognise her.
He's seen us.
What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Don't be nosy.
Damn.
Come on, Karen, let's go have a coffee.
What a good idea.
Let's see what they're... Oh my God. It's her. Whoops.
Tony?
What are you doing with her profile?
I looked her up on Facebook to see if Tim remembered her from uni, that's all.
It's the barmaid. Whoops again.
So Lisa could be your daughter then?
You trapped me.
No. Come on, how would we know? What would the odds be of the same woman that Tim and I remember being the woman you had one of your one-night stands with?
All right, well, if she is, I don't want a daughter. So just keep quiet.
It's a bit late for that.
Hi, Hannah. Tim and I are ready for that coffee now.
Oh yes, we were going to go meet up for a coffee.
That's my mum's Facebook profile.
Yeah.
Did you sleep with my mum?
Maybe.
Tim made me have a DNA test to see if he was my dad. And now it seems that you could be too. I think you should do the right thing and have one too.
Look,
Lisa.
Lisa, you're gorgeous. You're probably a real sweetie, but my wife will go ballistic and we won't be able to afford to give you the things you want.
I'm independent. I don't want handouts. I won't even be a part of your life if you really don't want me to. I just want to know who my dad is, please.
A DNA test is nothing, Tony. I've had one.
I know, the police did it.
All right, don't tell the world.
Oh, all right. At least it'll prove I can't be your dad. I never had sex with anyone casually without a condom. I'm sure.
Even when you're drunk?
I should have stayed at home today. She can't be my daughter. If I saw her passing on the street, I'd be thinking, whoa.
Yes, thank you. You know what, darling?
What?
If I thought about it, she couldn't have been your daughter. She's too pretty.
Oh, thank you. Or if you were the progeny of Alice and Shell and Tony, she wouldn't be Helen of Troy either, would she? Come on, think.
No, I suppose not.
Hey, I was quite a looker 20 years ago.
So, you admit you're not now, then?
Well, time ages us all.
And broadens us too.
I am still.
I was talking to Tony.
Oh, nice.
Come on then, Tony. Promise me you'll have the test.
Where? How?
The clinic I went to with Tim. It's only the other end of Kingston. They give you the results within hours.
All right. I have to now. I have to know now.
Well?
Thanks to you, I found my dad.
Oh my God, Tony.
94% match. Pretty conclusive?
You are happy, aren't you?
Well, yes, I suppose. I guess I feel a bit more of a man. But look, if my wife found out, she would go absolutely ballistic. So I don't mind being your dad, but please, all of you, don't say anything to my wife. It's all in her name, the house, everything.
All right.
I promise.
Okay, I promise. I didn't want to cause any trouble. I just wanted to find my dad. I love you, Dad.
Yeah. I love you too.
Oh, he does have feelings. Tim? Tim? You okay?
Oh, what? Oh, what happened?
You fainted. Tony hugged someone and you faint. You are one big girl's blouse, you really are.
It must have been shock, or relief, or both. Help me up. Look, Lisa, I might not be your dad, but you can always think of Hannah and me as friends, okay?
Yeah?
Thanks. Well, now I'll be staying in this neck of the woods. I better find somewhere to stay.
I guess while Josh is at uni, you could stay with us. Help me with my empty nest syndrome.
He's been at uni for 2 years, darling.
Oh no, but...
I'd love to. I'll get a job and pay my way. I won't be a freeloader.
Well, that's great. Until you find a job, you can stay with us.
Well, now Anna is Sir Charles's PA, although you wouldn't know it. She spends so much time down here, and Karen still needs an assistant. What sort of dad would I be if I didn't give you the job? Start Monday?
You bet. Thank you, thank you.
I became Sir Charles's PA nearly 2 years ago.
Well, I couldn't be bothered to arrange anything. Karen seemed okay.
Well, you never asked.
That's because you never said anything. You need to be proactive as a manager.
And you're proactive, are you? You're not even probiotic.
Not on what he eats.
I am proactive. I don't laze around and kiss butt by chance. It's part of my grand plan.
We'll all be getting back to Sir Charles before he gets Hannah sick. Bye, Dad.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Come on, Lisa. See you tonight, Poppet.
You bet.
I love happy endings.
20 years ago was the last time mine was.
Let's not go there.
You have been listening to Sue Ford as Hannah, Robert Chantler as Tim, Caroline Palmer as Karen, Geoff Buckingham as Tony, Christie Wright as Lisa, and Philippa Stuart as the nurse. Highly Strung Hannah was written and directed by Robert Chantler, the audience coordinator was Matt Richards, and the producer was Victoria Lawrence. Highly Strung Hannah is a free theatre company production.